Hi guys, it's Rebecca. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. Today's video is going to be my 7th update for my Pan That palette, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's the 7th update. But without any further ado, let me show you guys where I was the last time. And this is my palette, guys. Can you believe it? Well, don't, because it's not all done. Let me explain. So last update, I was working on these 3 shades, if I'm not mistaken. Heavenly Halo, which was a silver color. Daydream, which was a little bit dark cream matte shade, which I was using for to set my eyeshadow primer with. And then Debutante, which was a pinky shade that I was just mix and matching with anything that I was wearing. So, and then also I had Pumped here. I had a little bit of Pumped, which was a dark brown, dark glittery brown. So as you guys can see, I was able to finish, for sure, I finished these 3 shades right here. Debutante had, Daydream had like the slightest bit around the pan, and then Heavenly Halo had a little bit down here, and so did Debutante. But I was able to use them up. What I did actually is I Franken-shadowed Debutante and Heavenly Halo, and then I used that as a 1 shade over the lid. And then I was using Pumped as an outer V and crease shade, and that's how I was able to use these up. Pumped, however, I do have in this compact right here, because if you guys remember from last update, I made a Franken bronzer. And this is what I have so far for the Franken bronzer. So I had Franken bronzed this bronzer, and I had gotten a ton of pan showing. So what I did is I re-Frankened it using whatever was left of Pumped right here. It was like a third of the pan maybe. So I ended up crushing up whatever I had here from the first Franken bronzer, and then I added whatever was left here into here, and then I added a white shade to kind of like lighten up the shade because it was too dark. It's still a little bit too cool toned for me. I have to be very, very careful when I use this. I use this as a bronzer all over the face. I use it on my neck and my chest to bronze my skin. Hello. And this is where I'm at. I had actually completely filled it up again the second time I Franken bronzed it, but this is how much progress I've made. Now I was using the e.l.f. complexion brush. I think that's what it's called. It's pretty generic brush from e.l.f. And I used to use that one to bronze my face the first time I Franken bronzed this, but the second time I Franken bronzed it, it just ended up being too cool toned. Last time I added a yellow eyeshadow to it, and this time I didn't. I just added a white shade, and it looks too yellow, too cool toned. And if I use that e.l.f. brush, I look a little bit muddy, or very muddy. It just looks dirty. So I'm using a Bare Minerals brush right now. It's a huge, big, fluffy brush. Very, very not dense. To use this on my face, and as you guys can see, I made a ton of progress. I am hoping it's actually very thin in the pan. You can see a little bit of like product up on the side pan, but for the most part it's pretty flat all the way around, except for this little area right here. But other than that, it's very, very flat. It does kick up a little bit, not too much. I happen to have repressed it really, really hard in here. But it still kicks up a little bit. So I'm hoping that by the next update, I can have this one finished and have my Pan That palette finished in August. Mainly because I want to have all of August, September, and October to use up the other e.l.f. Wet n Wild bronzer that I have in my, what is it called? Graveyard Project pan that I haven't used at all because I've been focusing on this bronzer. So I really want to get this one out of my collection. I am dubbing this also as a crease shade, well, except for today because I'm wearing my pink from my Fall Into Project Panning? I can't remember the name. But I have a pink eyeshadow, so I'm using a pink eyeshadow. But I've been using this for the most part as a crease shade and as an eyeliner for under my lash line. So I'm gonna try to multitask this one as much as I can. My goal is to finish this by August 1st. That way I can start using the other e.l.f. one. So hopefully I can meet my goal and then be officially done with my Pan That palette. So this won't be like a trick to show. But anyway, guys, that is very, very quick update for my Pan That palette. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys are doing well with your Pan That palette, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye.